Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you can click the subscribe button and stay for a while. I upload 3 times a week. Get ready with me, shop my stash, trying on new makeup like today's video. If it's makeup or beauty related, I will be posting it. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you could tell from the title of the video, my Nordstrom orders, because I did have to place 2 different orders, came in. The YSL new bronzer, and I ordered 2 of the Terracota Guerlain blushes. So excited. I don't know why. You know, first we got the YSL powder bronzer, and then like I think it was 2 days later we got the blushes from Guerlain. So I had to place 2 different orders, but they're here and that means I can now play with them. So let me go ahead, pop off camera, get to my base down, and we can start applying these to my base. So if you want to hear my thoughts on these new luxury makeup items, then just go ahead and keep on watching. All right, my lovelies, I am back. And as you can see, my base is down. I went in to the new Makeup Forever HD Hydra Glow Foundation in 2126. I also went into the new Cali Ray Under Eye Brightener in the shade Golden Hour. And then I did add just the tiniest bit of the Fenty Beauty We're Even Concealer in 240N. And as far as powders, I went in to the Huda Beauty Pressed Powder for my under eyes in the shade Cupcake. And the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse, I think is what it's called, loose setting powder in the shade Light Translucent. So now we can talk about this bronzer and apply it. Let me pull up the information.
A few minutes later.
All right, so I purchased mine through the Nordstrom website, like I mentioned earlier. I believe this is also available at Saks Fifth. I haven't checked Macy's, also at Selfridges. Okay, I'm on the Nordstrom website. All Hours Hyper Bronze Powder from Yves Saint Laurent retails for $65 for this baby right here. There is 5 different shades available. I feel like they probably could have added 1 or 2 more shades, because from just with my naked eye looking at the darkest shade, I don't think that's dark enough, but that's just my personal opinion. I went ahead and purchased the shade 02 Buff Dune, which is the second lightest shade. I wasn't sure how pigmented this was going to be, and honestly, the third lightest shade, Golden Medina, looked a tiny bit too warm for my personal liking. Okay, so let me tell you a tiny bit about this product. Okay, the All Hours Hyper Bronze blurs imperfections and minimizes appearance of pores while smoothing the skin. This, what does it do? Powered by skincare actives, All Hours Hyper Bronze blurs imperfections and minimizes the appearance of pores. I just said that. Fully blendable and breathable, Hyper Bronze powder fuses instantly onto skin and ensures a seamless application, whether it is layered onto foundation or applied on bare skin. It's soft matte finish. So it's a matte finish and subtle sheen. Oh, and subtle sheen. Okay, so it's not matte. I'm so confused. And subtle sheen formula ensures a bronzed and healthy complexion for 24 hours without fading or shifting. Who is wearing this for 24 hours? Who is wearing this for 24 hours? I know I'm not. Okay. Here's what the outer packaging looks like. I do love the gold that YSL uses, and here it says the name of the product, 02 Buff Dune. Let me look at the shelf life. 24-month shelf life. Okay, great. And it was made in France. Okay, so I went ahead and opened up the box, and it does have like a little box protector thing that it like goes into. And here is what the compact looks like. It's a pretty thick compact, and this is the same material that you see in the clutch quads that they sell. I do enjoy it. I also do enjoy the shade brown that they used for the bronzers. I believe the powder is black cover, but I do really enjoy this. It feels very, very luxurious. And it's a soft matte here on the black portion. Okay, and that's what it looks like. So pretty. No scent, smells like powder makeup. Finally gonna dig into this. I don't want to touch the pretty and embossing. Oh, okay, it feels soft. That's what it looks like after swatching. Just a tiny bit of residue on the pan. I'm probably gonna have to build up this formula, but I'm perfectly okay with that. Ooh, it feels very soft. I like this tone. It looks more like a neutral tone, maybe with a tiny bit of pink. Like on my skin, I'm seeing a tiny bit of like slight pink, but we'll see once I apply it on. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Let me find what brush I'm gonna use. Okay, so I have here the F1 from Wayne Goss, which I absolutely love. Just the shape, the handle, everything about this brush, I love. And then I also have this Sonia G brush here, which is the soft buffer. I do enjoy this. I feel like when I have powder bronzers that are a tiny bit more difficult to pick up with synthetic brushes, if I use this brush, I don't have to tread super softly and it picks up the product perfectly. So does this one. So I figured these two were good brushes to use. Let me start with the Sonia G, and then maybe on the other side I'll use the Wayne Goss. Okay, this actually feels hefty, not super heavy like the Victoria Beckham brick, but it has a tiny bit of weight to it, which is nice. Okay, so I'm dipping my brush in there, and that's what it looks like after dipping my brush. Not too much kick up. If it has kick up, it's not a deal breaker for me. Okay, so let's, oh, okay. I think this is going to be a beautiful shade. I'm not gonna have any problems at all. That is so pretty. Okay, I definitely feel like if I would have gotten shade 3, I would have thought it was too orange. I feel like this is perfect. I would say it's more of a natural matte kind of finish on me. I don't see the sheen they're talking about. I don't know, you guys tell me. Okay, so on this side I have the bronzer and no bronzer on this side. Now I'm going to use the Wayne Goss. Ooh. Gosh, this formula is so pretty. What is it reminding me of? Is it the Victoria Beckham? It's just so soft. It literally looks like my skin. It just looks like I'm bronzing up the skin and not adding anything on top. Okay, I feel like both of those brushes worked great. Maybe enjoying just a tiny bit more of the application with the Wayne Goss. I just feel like it looks more soft and blurred. It actually does look a tiny bit blurred. Okay, here's what the face is looking like. Okay, so now for the Guerlain blushes. Again, I ordered these through Nordstrom. They came like 2 days after the YSL bronzer came. So I did have to place 2 separate orders, but since the bronzer itself was $65, I still got free shipping on that. Okay, the Terracota Powder Blush retails for $55. Okay. Available in 6 different shades. So when I saw the promo, I think it was Khaki Reviews Makeup. I think that's the name of her channel. Anyways, she pointed out that it looks like the concept is they give us 3 different shades, nude, coral, and pink. And then they provided us with a light version and a deep dark version of the 3 shades they gave us. I had a tiny bit of a hard time picking a shade, not because I didn't like the tones, but because I was trying to figure out what tones do I have the most of in my collection and pick not the same tones that I've been picking all the times that I've been buying blushes. I purchased 03 Deep Nude and 05 Deep Coral, so both of them are deep shades. I did not pick up any of the lighter tone shades, which I'm guessing is probably meant for your fair to maybe light medium complexion. I'm usually light medium throughout the whole year. Let me give you some details on these products. So this blush is a lightweight and long-lasting powder blush providing ultra buildable color that seamlessly blends with complexion. With its lightweight and airy texture, this long-lasting and comfortable powder blush reveals skin's natural undertones under a perfectly balanced, ultra-buildable second skin veil of color. Violet Guerlain, Makeup's creative director, has designed a collection of 6 blush shades, drawing her inspiration from earth tones. The 6 shades can be worn to match your complexion and your personal preference. 3 tones, nude, pink, and coral, are each available in 2 intensities, light and dark. Okay, so let me look at the shelf life. 12 months, and these were made in France. Okay, here is what the outer packaging looks like. I think it definitely gives luxury vibes. And then here is what the compact looks like. So this is part of that terracotta line, and I do own the terracotta light bronzer. I have it in shade 03 medium warm. And let me show you the difference in the compacts. So this one's definitely bigger than this. I do like the fact that they made the blush smaller than the bronzer, because even with it being this small, there's probably no way ever that I will go through this whole entire thing. I would just have to check how much the bronzer is versus the blushes, because $55 is expensive. Okay, so this one here is the 03 Deep Nude. Oh, it did have a little plastic protector, but I dropped it. So pretty. And does it look like it has a sheen? It does have an embossment on there. It says Terracotta Guerlain. Okay, let me go ahead and swatch this. I want to say it's like a matte finish, or maybe a silky soft matte. Okay. I love the smell of Guerlain. It reminds me of my grandma. Some of you might take offense to that, but I love it. It's that like baby powder scent that all of the makeup used to have back in the days. And I'm talking like 20 years ago. Okay, here is the other one. And this one is 05 Deep Coral. This is a little plastic cover that fell. And there it is. I see a tiny bit of sheen, right? Maybe it's just the way it's pressed. Okay, now I'm swatching this. And this is what it looks like after you swatch it. No kick up in the pan. Yeah, I want to say it's a silky matte finish. So here's the deep coral and the deep nude. Okay, let me apply these to my face. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the deep nude on the back portion of my cheek and the deep coral on the front portion. So let's start with the deep nude. And I do have here the Sonia G Soft Cheek. I have 2 of these brushes, so I'll have a different brush for the other shade. I'm sure whatever brush you like to use for blush should be fine. That's what it looks like after I have dipped my brush in here. So not a lot of kickback. Which might mean, well, I guess it depends on the shade you get. That is a buildable kind of formula, but oh, see, I already messed up. Jesus. Okay, let me go up here. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely say it's a buildable kind of formula, but it's building up pretty nicely. I am tapping my brush because this is a pretty deep shade. It's very pretty though. It's reminding me of the Chanel blush that I just reviewed not too long ago. Like, I do have to build it up. It's not going to be a ton of pigment right off the bat. But I don't mind that. But that's just me. Okay, but that is a very pretty, pretty tone. Please ignore this cheek. It always looks patchy. It's just this cheek. It doesn't look like that in real life, but for some reason on camera, this side always looks patchy all the time. See how this one looks nice and smooth, like everything, the bronzer and the blush, and then this one, it's like, what the hell? Okay, now we're gonna jump into the deep coral. And yeah, that's what the pan looks like after dipping my brush in there. Ooh, pretty. You see that coral shade? So cute. Ooh, loving that. It's been a minute since I've bought a coral shade. I can't even remember the last time. Maybe the Chanel, because one of the sides is a little bit of a corally shade. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, loving that. Okay, I did mix both and put it on my nose. I always put blush on my nose. It used to be on the tip of my nose, but I switched it to the bridge of my nose. Is that what it's called? I think so. Anywho, here's what the blushes look like. I do feel like they have almost like a airbrush effect to them, because I do feel like the texture on my cheeks where the blush is almost non-existent. Do I see a sheen? Maybe that coral one does have. I would still say the finish is like a natural silky matte. Okay, let me finish off the rest of my makeup. I'll be back and I'll probably have a couple of comparison swatches. And as you can see, I already wiped the blushes off. So they're probably gonna be a long lasting kind of blush because I already wiped these off. I'm gonna swatch the Chanel Rosé Coquillage formula to these Guerlain Terracotas and see, because if you have that, I think you can skip on these two shades and formula wise as well. So yeah, I'll probably do a couple of swatches and just compare. I don't want this video to be super long because it's just 3 products, you know? Hold, I'll be right back. All right, my lovelies, I am back, and as you can see, makeup is done, eye look is done. I did film another video and I used the Pat McGrath 5-pan eyeshadow palette in Nude Allure. For eyebrows, I went into the Anastasia brow pencil and the Dominique Cosmetics brow gel. For my lips, I have on the Dominique Cosmetics lip liner in Nudie and the new Merit lipstick formula matte lipstick in Sunday. And for mascara, I used the YSL Lash Clash highlighter. Is a Dior highlighter. Unfortunately, was part of a limited edition. Coral Cruise is the shade, but any of the, well, except for the first shade, but the permanent collection highlighters, I do feel like those are just as beautiful as this one. Okay, so I pulled out a couple of blushes. I did take off the swatches, so let me swatch again. So this is Deep Nude right there, and I'm gonna swatch the Deep Coral. Tiny bit more. I am so far really enjoying these Guerlain blushes. Okay, I pulled out Ginger from my Laura Mercier collection. Not even close to this, but I wanted to test out the oh no, formula is not even close. Laura Mercier, it's a little bit more powdery, softer in general. Not at all like this formula. The other one that I for sure wanted to compare to is the new Chanel blush I picked up, the Rosé Coquillage, because I feel like this formulation reminds me so much of this Guerlain Terracota formula. Okay, so let me do, this is like the mauvey rosy tone. It barely swatched. Oh my gosh. See what I mean? It's like these are formulas that you need to build up. That's either for you or it isn't. But this swatch, Jesus, come on, Chanel. It's like making it very difficult to swatch right here. You see that? Okay, so this is the mauvey rose tone, and then here is, yeah, see the peachy one, it was fine. Maybe I'm already getting hard pan. I am. How is that possible? Can you see it? Maybe from swatching, like you could probably see, you see that right here? That's a little annoying. And it's just the mauvey rosy tone shade. More pigment with these. Formula is different. But I feel like on the cheeks, it looks very similar. Okay, yeah, I don't have too many formulas that remind me, I'm trying to wipe the blush off, of the new Guerlain Terracota Blushes. Okay, now we're gonna swatch the YSL bronzer, which I think out of today's new products, this one's probably my favorite. Okay, so here is a swatch of the YSL. I'm very happy with the shade that I got. I think it's a good one. The Pat McGrath, because this one's kind of a flat matte kind of formula, and I even feel like the tones are pretty similar. Okay, the YSL feels a tiny bit more soft to the touch, that is. And I do feel like the YSL is a little bit blurring. I don't think the Pat McGrath is. A little more pigmentation to the Pat McGrath than the YSL, just from the swatch. But I do have to build up this shade from Pat McGrath, which is Bronzed On. Okay, the Surat bronzer reminded me of this formula. Close to the tone, not quite. No, I want to say the Surat maybe has a tiny bit more of a silky cream powder formulation than the new YSL, and feels just more silky smooth, but also a great formula from Surat. The shade I have from Surat is Soleil Doux. Okay, last but not least, my Tom Ford, and this is in shade Terra. The Tom Ford is lighter and a tiny bit more neutral, maybe more on the pinky tone side. Feels nothing like the YSL at all. But I do feel like maybe the Tom Ford is a tiny bit sheeny. Oh yeah, not even close. Okay, those are the three comparisons I wanted to pull out, and I don't feel like any of these are similar to the texture, what I feel, and how it looks, which makes me happy. Yeah, okay. Now let's go into my thoughts and finish off this video. All right, my lovelies, now let's talk about my thoughts on these pretty bougie and expensive products. I was excited for these. I was really excited for these because so far what I have tried from both YSL and Guerlain, I do really enjoy. And that is the main reason why I was excited. I was not as excited when I saw the price tags. This YSL bronzer is $65, okay? $65. Now, looking at the package, how it feels, yes, it's a tiny bit bulky, but it does feel pretty luxurious, and I do feel like you are getting at the price tag and luxury that you are paying. Formula wise, is it super absolutely special that you need to go run out and get it right now? No. When I was applying the new YSL bronzer, it reminded me a lot of the Victoria Beckham, except I do feel like the Victoria Beckham does have a tiny bit of sheen. I feel like this YSL is a little bit more on the silky natural matte side of things. It is blurring, I will give it that, but I feel like if I were to apply the Surat bronzer that I did a swatch comparison with on this side and the YSL on this side, I don't think you'd be able to tell too much of a difference, because I do feel like other formulas in my collection give me a very similar, if not the same effect as this new YSL. I hope they come to Sephora, because then you can use your 20% off code if you're a Rouge member and get this 20% off. It's a pretty one. It's probably going to become a favorite, but it's not a must-have, and you don't need to buy it if you're not in the market for a new bronzer. Do not let FOMO get to you, okay? All right, now for the Guerlain blushes. I actually am really enjoying this formula. Very, very pretty. Is it super special? No, I don't think so. They remind me a tiny bit of the Gucci, except the Gucci does have that sheen quality to the formula. $55. $55. I think the Gucci ones are what, $49 or $50? I don't know which one I would prefer. If you are in the market for a luxury blush, because this is $55 for one, I don't think you'll be disappointed, but I don't feel like the formula is super special that you need to go run and grab it right now. Very beautiful, but gosh, $55 is kind of expensive. How much product do you get? 0.17 ounces. I did look at the price for the bronzer. There's difference comparison in size, and the bronzer retails for $60. So just $5 less for the blush, and you get 0.30 ounces, right? Yeah, 0.30 ounces for the bronzer. Very pretty, but you don't need it. You don't need it. If you don't have the money, don't buy it. If you're not in the market for a new luxury blush, don't buy it. And Guerlain is also sold at Sephora, so I'm crossing my fingers that they do come to Sephora before the VIB sale. And then, like I said, if you're a Rouge member, then you can get them at 20% off. I would definitely say at 20% off, they are much more worth the price tag. Okay, I feel like I've talked so much today. That's going to be it for this video of trying on some new luxury makeup items. Okay, my lovelies, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly does mean the world to me. I was so excited for these products to get in. I knew I was really going to enjoy them. I'm really trying to slow my roll before the Sephora VIB sale. So the plan is, it could change, but I'm just letting you know what the plan is as of right now. These are my last purchases until the Sephora VIB sale. So cross your fingers, send your good vibes that I stick to that. I'm hoping you all will help me in holding myself accountable to not purchasing any more makeup. Okay, well, with that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up, and also do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye!